So I've always liked the movie Cheaper by the Dozen. So I would definitely have 12 like this. Definitely. I would definitely have 12. It's just the price, bro. You know?
Of course, yeah. No.
Look, I went from having just my tani and my cousin listening to making sure the whole city was listening, bro. And for me, that was...
Because we struggle as creatives, you know. There's a lot that we want to do. We got a lot to give, but we don't have structure. We have no start, middle, and end. So we can make something of it. Yes, indeed, ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Catch Up Podcast. Today, as you know, I'm your host, Blake the Champ, joined by
Jared Smith.
And we are powered by Crocs. Big shout out to Crocs for powering the episode. And of course, our choice of equipment is only the best. A big shout out to Rode as well. Today, we have a guest on the show that I know you will know. He is known as the biggest radio DJ to come from nothing and build something big. He's also a podcaster. He's an MC. He's a comedian. And he's the king of the public service announcements. Today, he is Yuzriq Meyer. Make some noise.
Mr. Meyer back with another public service announcement. It's fine. It's great to be here on Catch Up Podcast. Nigga, set up that one's got going here, no?
Shot, brother. The Meyer's in the building. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you for having me.
How's things? How's life?
Yo, bro. Life is good. Life is blessed. I guess, we're taking it one moment at a time. Bro, I guess there's so much going on, bro.
Yeah.
And can I just be honest here for all of our regular people? Life's expensive too, bro.
Yeah.
Life's quite expensive, but we're pushing on, bro, and we're making things happen.
Especially as a family, man, we can
Definitely,
cut right into it, bro. You're a father. How many kids do you have now?
3, boss.
3 beautiful kids.
3 beautiful kids, mate.
And that comes with 3 beautiful paychecks every month to
Brother,
month. It's
you just have to do it.
4. What about the wife?
Huh?
The wife
that's
also
true
got
as well.
money.
Listen, and then you must still remember you're a person too.
Exactly. Can't forget about yourself.
So, there's lots of stuff to do, bro. But, I guess, I think by the grace of God, I think all things work as well, man. I think as long as you keep your faith and you're consistent and you're also willing to grind.
Yeah.
Like, you're not sitting around waiting for handouts and you're like, you know what, I'm consistent, I'm going to work, I'm going to go get it, and I'm just going to keep my faith in the Almighty. And I think things always pan out pretty beautifully.
100%.
Are you done now? Is 3 your portion?
Look, I'm be honest with you. I need some of that Forex money, no? as soon as I have some of that Forex and Crocs money, then I'm ready to go for 12, bro. Because I've always liked the movie Cheaper by the Dozen. So I would definitely have 12 like this. Definitely. I would definitely have 12. It's just the price, bro, you know?
Of course, yeah. No. As the bankroll increases.
Nah, then
so
we definitely having. I wanted house to be full of lights everywhere. There was paint on the walls. It was just be like, that was your house. Okay, sorry about that one. But mess of the house is your house, bro. Like, so.
But I think that's how you can tell the difference between a rich man and a poor man, is it doesn't actually come down to the money. It comes down to how he spends his money.
100%.
And a rich man will grow his family. Because that's the real value. That's the real value, bro.
You can say, you never know what's going to come out of there, bro. There might be new lawyers, astronauts, you might be Forex traders. You never know, bro. Rugby stars,
Leave your legacy behind.
100%, bro.
100%, we love it, bro. Look, you've always also created the opportunity for us to come through, sit with you in interviews, making a place available for us wherever we were in the season of life, So big shout out to you. We're very happy to have you here and be on the other side of the table for once chatting to you.
It's nice to be on the other side, bro. Can you believe it's been 10 years, bro?
Sure.
How
time flies,
It's been a decade of radio for me.
Sure, bro.
So I looked at that the other day and I was like, yo, bro. Did 10 years go by and I saw some of our old photos as well.
Yeah.
The old street stylist photos, I told people about Blake OC, bro. They don't know, bro.
OC days,
they don't know about the OC days too.
Yeah.
Shout out Fuzzies one time. I go back with bro, but just to look at some of the old photos is just, for me, it's wild because you don't see the time go by so fast. You just wake up one like, wow, bro, that was not 8 years ago.
Yeah, flew.
Because it feels like last week, you know what I mean?
100%, bro. Because we were there for it all, damn.
Yeah.
If I think about it also, bro, like I emphasized on this now in the beginning, and I said, you're someone that turned your radio career from nothing into something.
Yeah.
And I feel like what you did was crazy, bro, because nobody did it like that before. And I'm going to be honest, no shade on Bush Radio, but no one was listening to Bush Radio before
100%.
you got on Bush Radio. That's the truth.
Come and tell you a funny story on that, man, bro. Like, so before I got there, you know, so my elder sister was like me, bro. A friend of mine went to go work at Bush Radio. So I go, try it out. I'm like, yo, Bush Radio, me, bro. Nah, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then actually, I got it. Was like, I'm a study journalist. I mean, I finished studying journalism. I went into this radio thing now. And then I was like, yo, but like, who's gonna listen to me? I was actually shy to tell the main. So I was like, but that's because, remember, there hadn't been anything yet.
Yeah,
of
for
course.
sure.
But then I obviously took it into consideration. You know what? People know who you are. Like you've been here operating in the streets. You've been at all the events, all the parties. People know you. Besides, for media purposes, use that same kind of energy and put it into what you're doing here at the station, and uplift that thing. And then I was like, you know what? I mean, it's a long-standing organization. It's been there for a long time. It's a community radio station. It's always been there to uplift, young artists, young athletes. Like, doesn't matter whatever you do, and even small businesses. And I thought, you know what? That same energy of who I am, I'm gonna put into the show. And then look, I went from having just my tani and my cousin listening, to making sure the whole city was listening, bro. And for me, that was like a good moment for me, knowing that, you know what, I actually brought the main set to come through, you know what I mean?
For sure. It went from you asking people to be on the show to people asking to be on your
Can
show.
I please be on the show, you know what I
Bro,
mean?
I must give you for that 100%.
Give thanks.
Bro. And then how did it come about that you actually went to go study journalism in the first place? Because you know when you're a lighter, you
Yes,
have
you don't-
dreams, you
yeah.
think about your future. Or you're stuck in a season where you don't care about the career, you know, the gangsterism or this is
Yo,
pulling you
bro.
sideways. Bro, you a man from the streets.
Yeah.
Raw and real. So when it comes down to studying journalism, you know, where did that idea even come from?
You know what, man? I was, actually, as a youngster, man, I think I was caught up in a lot of different stuff. I think as we all were, like, especially growing up in the Cape Flats and stuff, and I think there's different surrounding areas. I think the element of gangsterism was always huge. Whether it was an uncle, a brother, a friend, a cousin, the bro from down the road you grew up with, there was always some form of element of that. And kind of when you're younger and you don't move outside of your area for a while, then you kind of get, like I just say, indoctrinated into that, to think like this is the way. And that's why I also try to be a change for also other younger ladies, to be like, you know what, bro, I think you guys are so marginalized and institutionalized by your communities, because the thing is, this is all you see. Because if you never leave your street corner, if you never leave your road, you don't understand that the world is much bigger than your own community.
100%.
And once people obviously start to travel and move around, they obviously get a wider perspective of things, and they start to understand, like, but bro, there's actually more to life than Lamini on the corners where he's asking for the tour and asking for this and that. So, I mean, by the time I got to matric, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to be a little bit more serious. I mean, the element of this and that was always still there. I mean, there was crazy house parties, you know, bro.
Yeah.
Days in Ottas, Lansdowne, Crawford. I mean, there's house parties, there was things happening, people were turning up and stuff. And I thought myself, you know what? I have to get into something that's going to actually give me an opportunity to express myself who I was, because not many people knew at the time. Like, I was still into poetry, still into music, still into rapping. But I mean, so my mom actually told me, you know what, Abba, how about trying journalism, because you like to write, you like to speak, and you're quite a vocal chap. Like, why don't you go for something like that? And I was like, okay, because initially I was actually gonna go study travel and tourism at the time, because I just thought, you know what, to get in the traveling trade, to get, you know, like a cheaper packages, and I would travel around the world, because the idea was broaden the mindset, like get out of the neighborhood, just to go see. And then I tried my hand at it, and that was like what, 2013. No, not 2013, I finished. It was 2010. 2010, I started studying it. I thought journalism was a thing. And then I fell in love, bro. It was quiet, because, I mean, my love for the written and spoken word was immense. And I think it was a quiet place to express yourself. And like, maybe as a young person coming from Cape Town, from the Cape Flats, you didn't get the opportunity to maybe express yourself as much, and to be in those spaces. It was crazy, bro. Because we did things like this, radio, TV, chatting and writing. And I think it just brought my mindset, like, to a whole different level.
And all the stuff you are naturally good at is also, you know, you're gifted in many ways. Like we were chatting now off air, and I don't want to give away your secret recipes of the way you shoot your podcast, but you have an unbelievable amount of energy to stay consistent, to work for long periods of time, and you don't feel drained. And I think that's a gift, because a lot of people might shoot one podcast and complain. You know, that's enough for them. They're tired for the day. They need to do one another a week from now. Whereas you have a particular energy to you, and you needed to put that to good use. And then going through the journalism is what I pick up is you found a bit of structure.
100%.
Because we struggle as creatives, you know. There's a lot that we want to do. We got a lot to give, but we don't have structure. We have no start, middle, and end, so
Yeah.
we can make something of it. So
100%.
using that journalism, prepare
In that,
you for-
yeah. And then also I was telling like lots of people, even like we're starting the podcast and they assumed like if you look at the earlier videos, even at the time people there was like wild videos out, and at the time when there's wild videos out, I was still a journalist the whole time, you know what I mean? I just knew how to tap into different energies of different people. The thing is I was from Cape Town, from the Cape Flats, and I could connect with people. So I used to do all this kind of videos purposefully just to get the reaction, because at the time it was huge, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then now, I mean, with the podcast and things like that, and also just generally speaking to people, I think I'm a conversationalist by nature. I love talking to people. You have to actually be interested in people, and you have to be a conversation. Like, you know, obviously, I didn't come here planning to say anything. You can ask whatever I want, whatever you want, and I'm gonna answer you.
Yeah.
And I'll do my best to not make it a media answer, because I wanted it also to be real.
Yeah, for
I think I pride myself on doing real conversations with people.
Yeah.
And even
We talk about this a lot at the schools, is learning to communicate is a skill.
Yeah.
And communication can get you in the right rooms with the right people
100%.
and keep you in a conversation. Because you said it also now before the show, is you can switch it up if need be.
if needs be, 100%.
You can adapt to your audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's also important, because you can't be one person in front of everybody. It's
No.
not possible. You need to understand who you're working with, who you're talking to, and then to feed into that conversation, to entertain the conversation, you're obviously adapting to the way that they speak and what they speak about.
And I think that's also because I think as a youngster I did move around quite often into different neighborhoods. When I mean, like I said, I was living in Freedoek, and then I was living in Athlone, and then I was in Mitchell's Plain, and then I was in Woodstock. So I think also being a youngster, moving around often, I also got myself to adapt to like different crowds. I was like a chameleon in different areas, and I think that also helped me a lot in terms of how I chat to people. Because look, if we're doing something for the brands, like, hi guys, thank you so much to Road and to Crocs. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for sponsoring the Catch Up podcast. We do an amazing job here, guys.
Concentra
I
accent.
absolutely love my Crocs. But now I'm talking to the people in the streets. I can't hit them with that, man, bro. I'm gonna tell them like, kyk jy ouens, ek weet 'n swaar man. En ek weet julle sukkel. Ek weet 'n swaar jou man party giali. Now, if I can't go into the same room and talking to the brand owners versus when I'm talking to the people in the streets, because they're not gonna understand that, because maybe they don't come from a background or you know that kind of stuff. But I'm like, okay, now, but if you're gonna be in the right rooms, you have to have the right, let's say, language that's gonna open up more
But
doors.
it comes down to adaptability.
Adaptability.
You've got to be
very-
able to adapt to your crowd. Otherwise, you're not going to get what you're trying to achieve in life, unfortunately.
100%.
And I think what we go through in life creates an opportunity for us to
It does.
gain the insight and the knowledge we need to be adaptable.
Yeah. Also, for me, you have a lot of power because you can be that bridge.
Yes.
It's not a lot of people can be from both worlds.
Yeah.
They either don't have the courage or they don't have the skill set. And like you said, naturally you're a conversationalist.
Yeah.
Naturally it comes to you. And you've figured out ways and also created platforms. You didn't only just jump onto Bush Radio where there was a platform and then you made it kwai. A podcast is something that you created. That's your own show.
100% my own show.
Tell us, obviously, okay, radio DJ by experience, 10 years in the game now and so on. Podcasting is big in the world. But what sparked the idea for you where you went, I actually need to have my own podcast?
Look, the idea actually came about, like, I'm not going to lie to you, about 5 years back already. And I was like, I should start it. And there was one of those things I think like lots of people get into where you were supposed to do something, you delay it. Like I should really do this. And now I think I'm almost like a poster child for telling people like, you know what, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with a single one. Like everyone's like, so how do you do it? Like you just have to start.
Yeah.
Like so people's gonna like, how do you do this? Because the thing is, it's not gonna be that thing that you visualize in your mind overnight. This is how it starts.
Yeah.
It starts with you just putting in the first steps and having the courage to take those first steps. So, I was sitting with a couple of friends of mine and they were like, bro, you should do this. Like, you've been doing the radio for a long time. You need something more uncensored, more you, where you can actually speak to people, where you aren't kind of like cut by lines. Like, you know, you can't say this, you can't say that, but like actually give us something that's real, that we understand in the streets and things like that. And I was like, okay, cool. But at the same time, not just even for the streets, but for boardrooms too. Because, I don't think I'm going to limit myself to say, it's only for this niche or this market. Like my podcast for everyone, because I have every type of guest on there as well. So for me, getting into it was just get to the point of starting.
Yeah.
But it was always in the back of my mind because I was watching the Hot One stuff and like the earlier podcast that was happening, and I was like, I could do this. I could easily do this. I just never got it. And then I think I was provided with the opportunity to actually just like, you know what, I'm going to do it, do the first episode. I think I put my sister on the first episode. And I was like, nah, let's ride it, man. Like I think you and I both have a good enough following to make this thing ride. And I think it jumped. It's a year later. Could you believe it?
Sure.
The
Man,
podcast,
bruh,
like 1 year ago, I started the
was
podcast.
quick,
and
yeah.
I couldn't even believe it. I was like, what? all these episodes ends 1 year later. So yeah, so I just started it maybe.
Bro, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And I think this is super powerful because we always go into the schools and speaking to the youth,
Yeah.
right? And the number one thing that I want to leave with them is that you have to believe in yourself
100%.
because no one's coming to save you.
Phew,
And for me, you've believed in yourself in many different decisions before you could get to. Remember, Bush Radio is a destination.
Yes.
But that conversation that you had with yourself in your mind, there was a couple of challenges and struggles along the way before you ended up there. And then when you got there, the challenges started, and then you had to
100%.
build the show. So where does your self-belief come from? Because it's so strong. Where does it come from? Do you know?
Look, in the line that you just used now, it's a line that I've been using to myself every day. Nobody's coming to save you. And I think that is that I kind of got that like in my, let's say about very early 20s, like 19, 20. I was like, you know what? I don't know, like maybe some kids come from homes where you always got maybe pocket money or you got handouts, you got things easily. Now I came from both worlds. There was a time where I got it all, you know, my moms and pops, and like they made sure they worked their asses off to make sure they can give me this and that. But I mean, let's say in life, these ups and downs, you know, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. That's just how life works. And you don't always have, and you don't always not have. So it's like, it's a journey. And I think also just have been in a time where I think it was a good skill that maybe my parents taught me that I would try to deliver to my own children one day, is that they gave me a lot until the point they told me, you know what, you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that for now, that may have been one of the best things that helped me, because maybe at the time I was like, yo, you mean you're not gonna buy me the PlayStation? You're not gonna buy me the motorbike? Yo, I think at some point I was very spoiled.
Yeah.
Like I was spoiled, like, regardless of anything. Like I had this
Go on.
life, that life. But if I could go home, I know I could ask my mom for this and that, and they would give it to me.
Go on.
And now getting to a point where like, yo, you mean you have it, you're not gonna give me?
Yeah.
I think that taught me to be like, you know, you have to go get it yourself.
Yeah.
And I can't depend on mommy and daddy, and I can't depend on an uncle or auntie or friend. I have to do it myself. And I think that burning energy inside me that no one's coming to save me gave me the energy to do what I
But
do.
I think people are scared of hard work. I
Yes.
think that's why a lot of people say they want to be successful, but they don't reach the goals they can because they're afraid of the hard work. They want it for nothing.
They want it for nothing. And I think on that note, also, like I've been my word for any single person doing anything, the word is consistency for me.
Yeah.
Like you don't necessarily have to be the most talented athlete. You have to be consistent.
Sure.
So as you can't just like, I'm gonna do this thing and tomorrow like I'm dead, I'm done. You know what I mean? And then for me with working at Bush Radio, I thought to myself, you know what? There was some lyric from some hip hop song. I can't give it to you exactly now, but I think this line resonated with me all the time. It was like, what is it now called? Like, building the throne. Wait, what's it now? Owning the throne. Why own the throne when I can build my own? And I thought to myself, you know what? That line resonated in the sense of, I don't want to go to a place where it's already made and I have to shift someone out of a position where he's already the king.
Yeah.
I can literally build my own castle here, because this is an opportunity for me to build something. Like, had I gone to any other radio station at the time,
Sure.
I would have been in a position where I had to fill up shoes that were already there.
Yeah.
But now I had an opportunity to do something for the first time.
Yeah.
And there was no one else before me. I mean, there were many before me, but who was going to do what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And I think being in that space gave me a whole evolutionary mindset. Like, you know, I got to keep going. I need to build the table longer. I need to include all my friends, all my peers, everyone I know from the streets, anyone who's trying to push up and try to come out here, to give them an opportunity to be on these platforms, because like they weren't used to these platforms. I think I gave most, if not all of these people, like some of their first radio interviews, maybe. And I know, like, even though I'm going to tell you, I can tell you, I know it's been their first, all of them. I put everyone on in for when it comes to Cape Town, artists that are currently trending, currently boosting. The first time I said, I want Stig 8.
Yeah.
I know how hard it is to get on these platforms, but I'm here now, so I'm not gonna close the gate. I'm opening the gate for everyone to come in.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
True to your word, bro. There was times also where I maybe messaged you and recommended somebody and said, look into it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it didn't take much effort from your side. Boom, boom, boom. Next thing I hear, the person's on the show.
I'm like, bro, let him
You
come
were never
through
shy.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that. I was actually going to ask you about Push Radio and
Yeah.
why you never moved to another radio station, because if we made the comparison, we
Yes.
know that your other radio stations, I'm not going to name drop all of them now, but they are more successful radio stations,
Yes.
bigger ones. And of course, with your following, with your rise to fame, with the platform that you create, because you've created a brand for yourself, which
Yes.
separates you from the normal radio DJ who's
Yes.
just known for being on that radio station. You actually created a brand, Yuzriq Meyer, by yourself. So obviously you got approached from other radio stations.
I've gotten approached by every radio station in the city,
Yeah.
and they can watch this. You know, you guys called me. You know, you headhunted the mayor. You know, I was like about 2-3 years in the game. They called me up. They're like, Mr. Mayor, we want you to come work for us. We want you to come work for us. And I had all these opportunities presented to me. Now, if I look at it in retrospect, why I didn't take this opportunity, it wasn't because I didn't want it. Obviously, at the time, I think social media was in such a way that if I had gone at the time, I'd be marginalized as to who I was as a character on my own.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's say I was a little bit out of the box at first, and I think I was a bit more rowdy. Because the thing is, I was really from the streets like that, and I was like telling people, okay, this is what, and they were like, okay, cool, you can come, but we're gonna need the Constantia accent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tone
You're
it
gonna,
down.
you're gonna have to tone it down. We're gonna say a little less of this, and we do a little bit more of this. And at the time where I was, at the age I was at, I was like, you know what? This is just how I felt about. Like, I'm not a sellout. Like, I'm not willing to take the bigger bag and the bigger platform to be someone I'm not. And I could do that, but then I thought to myself, you know, what does that look like to people who are looking up to me? Because now I'm completely taking away the fact that I'm like you, bro, and like I'm from where you from, and I did this. But now all of a sudden I'm acting like some different. Just because, look, I mean, if some people do it for business sense, and I understand it, and I mean, I don't shade anyone who's doing that. If you're in the space where people are like giving you opportunities and you have to do this and that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you gotta pay the bills at the end of the day, I understand it. But at the time where I was at daily at home, like for in terms of financially. So I was like, bro, I was fine, and I'm not gonna go to sell out. So I didn't go, and then another one came up like, you need to do this. They put me in a room with other radio presenters, seasoned vets, and they were like, bro, we know you know how to do this. Do you want to be a co-presenter on this show? Do you want to do this? I said, I had the conversations. I'm talking about the radio heads, people who's running the radio stations in the city.
Yeah.
I've been in the rooms with all these people like, yo, Maya, but we really want you here. And I think also some people were a bit worried at the time. I don't know, it's weird because people have this weird assumption that I was gonna go swear on the radio, or I was gonna do something like, nah, we can't maybe book him for this, we can't do this because he's a loose cannon. He's just gonna. I was like, bro, I'm a cognitive human being that understands being in what rooms. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be with lions, I'm gonna roar, bro. If I'm gonna be with cheetahs, you know what I mean? If I'm so I was like, bro, I could do it. What any of the presenters are doing, Lach, but I know this because the thing is, I'm very confident in what I can do.
Of course.
So I know I could do that. And then I think there was some whispers like, you should come here, you should go there, you should do that. And then also, what people also don't understand is also with lots of big radio stations. And the thing is, I'm actually not in competition with any other radio station because we're a community radio station.
Yeah.
Which means we are not commercial. Any of the stations you're talking about are commercial that have never been our competitors.
Yeah.
We don't do the same thing. I'm here to serve the community and up and coming like this. You guys do big brands, which is cool. You do business and you do people that make financial sense to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I got, if I had to get there, so basically I was doing brand deals. Like, I mean, you know, the early days, like before the influencer title even exists, we were doing like stuff with brands.
For sure.
Had you gone to another radio station, you could no longer work with those brands. And it would stop you because if the brand does not align with, if the radio station does not align with the brand. So let's just say I work for X commercial radio station and Jeep comes to me like, maybe we want to give you a Jeep.
Yeah.
If they work with Ford, I can't do the Jeep deal.
You cut yourself off.
So I was making so much money doing brand deals straight. So I mean, because brands were coming to me directly. And the cool thing about Bush Radio is they've never infringed on my ability to work with those brands. It doesn't matter who I worked with.
Nice.
Even if they did not have weren't happy with it, they knew that when I was on the radio, I was there for my radio capacity.
Yeah.
And me as a personality on my own, Dad had his own business going on as well. And I think because they've allowed me that for 10 years, like I'm still working there. I've allowed to say outlandish things in the early days. And still, it didn't affect my relationship. They're like, okay, so you said this there on that video, we're going to fire you.
Yeah.
It was like, cool, that's who you are. That's your persona there. But when you're here, you know what to do.
Yeah.
You on the radio, you clean, you fresh, you waking up the city, you playing the good music, you giving good, feel-good conversations. But on here, I'm doing me.
Wow.
So other radio stations weren't allowing me that. And I think that's one of the reasons I never went because I could still maintain my...
And that contributes massively to your growth for
Yes.
any person. Because if you are limited in what you can say and do, you're limited in your growth.
Yes.
You can get stuck there. Whereas working with Push Radio, as you were giving the platform your best,
Yeah.
you were then also able to become your best
100%.
through the journey. And I respect that, bro. And not a lot of people will do it because also we take the bag. You know, we see the money.
That's a big thing, yeah.
Take the opportunity. This is gonna make me famous. I'm
That's
gonna
gonna
be
make-
seen.
yes.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be seen on this radio, whatever, or this brand even. And you take the bag quickly. You think it's maybe a shortcut, but at the end of the day, when you build according to the long road, like you said, build
Yes.
your own empire. Yes, brick by brick, it's gonna take you more time.
And look, nobody can take it away from you now.
Exactly,
You know what I
bruh.
mean?
Exactly.
And also with that, going to those stations, and I mean, I don't think they're gonna tell you all of this stuff because I've been around the block and I know I know all these presenters, bro. I know all of them. They know I know them. I got them on WhatsApp. I talk to this man. So I would tell you that some of these people aren't even happy where they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think the grass is green on the other side, but it's not. Bro, because it's easy to make the post to say, hey, I've made it to, I'm now working at. And everyone's like, congratulations. You don't understand what you've just signed up for.
Yeah.
You have to be there for X amount of hours. You cannot say this. You cannot talk about
You like
this
sell
or
your
that.
soul in a sense. You
Yes.
sell your purpose, you sell your dreams, you sell part of you.
To be part of that. And I mean, I don't think I was ready. And I'm still not ready.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
ever
still-
be ready, please.
You know what I mean?
Don't ever be ready.
Like, unless you tell me, you know what, Maya, you can come through. We'll pay you this, and that, and you can, say whatever you want, play whatever you want. I want carte blanche, and I'm willing to work there. You know what I mean? And listen, any brands I work with, there's nothing to do with you guys. So I mean, if you understand that, then we all
It's not
gravy,
willing
baby.
to settle though. That's the most amazing thing. You're not willing
Yeah.
to settle
Nah.
on where you're going and where you want to be. Just coming back to the younger the younger days, you said that your mom spoke to you about journalism.
Yes.
But what was the actual turning point within yourself? What was it? Just that revelation, that realization? Hey, I don't want this. I want that. Was it an internal thing in your mind, in your heart? What was that change? What did it really look like?
Look, man. So I mean, when I was still at high school, we had like this winter school things where you could go like to different varsity sticks and things like that. So I went to Damlin College. I went to UCT. I went to UWC, and you could go have these open days where you have like this little you do a week in this class, or you do like 3-4 days just to kind of get yourself a bit of understanding as to what it was. So I think I did a little bit of that. But being in the journalism sector when I was there and finding so many like-minded individuals such as myself in there, like open-minded people, creatives and like people that would talk, like, because remember being creative at that time was that thing where everyone's like, nah, you're not going to succeed with this.
Yeah.
Like you have to be the doctor, you have to be the teacher, you need to be the accountant.
Yeah.
Choose something safe. Because
Yeah.
if you choose something safe, you're going to make money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you don't go for your dreams. Take
Yeah.
something safe.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to pay that bond.
People
Yeah.
are
You know?
still doing that though.
That- no,
and,
they still
and
are.
they're depressed in their job.
And that's what I'm saying, because lots of people don't even want to work.
Yeah.
I've had conversations with so many people, they hate their jobs, but they do understand it's a means to an end. I have to put food on the table. I have to pay for the lighty school
For
fees.
sure.
I have to buy. So, I'm also, like we said, with the increase in prices, people have to work. They don't want to be there. Now, I think being in a creative space and also having supportive family members or people that are like, you know what? If this is your dream, go for it. And that's why I must props like my family for allowing me to be in that space, because I don't think everyone has the opportunity. Because let's say somebody wants to do something and now you're like, no, bro, you can't go do that. You need to go work. We need to make sure the stuff is paid by the end of the week. So now you coerced into go like I have to be at the call center now. I hate being in a call center, but I gotta be there because it pays the bills.
Yeah.
And I think that's where lots of dreams die, where people don't have the space, because we must understand life in the Cape,
Yeah.
It's very tough because you can look at someone and they can look like they're doing pretty well, but they could have like 7 people living in the house.
Yeah.
They could be the sole breadwinner of the house. Their mom's maybe ill, or their dad's ill, or maybe there's no dad, or there's no mom. It's the big brother looking after his sisters. And I've seen the situations over and over. So they have to do it, and they don't really want to, but I mean, that's the deck of cards life dealt them, bro.
100%,
crazy, yeah.
bro. The way that we challenge, if I look back on it now, is yes, we speak about believing in yourself at school,
Yeah.
but just based on what you said now, is there's a lot of moments where our circumstances make us lose that belief.
Yes.
We're forced into it for too long, and then eventually we're like tired of trying to believe, and we give up.
And we give up.
because we have to just do what we must do. So, was there ever a time in your life where you were challenged and you felt like you were going to give up on this journey? Anything that maybe hit you hard, that stuck with you, that you overcame, that actually made you bounce back stronger now that you look back to it?
I don't think in the earlier days, no, man. I think I was much too motivated, man. Like I don't know, bro. Like I got motivation like yo, bro. It's mad. But also this is the drip for today. And I told you the drip for today was 90s hip hop.
Yeah.
And the reason I wore this because if I think about like artists like that I grew up listening to, like DMX, Tupac Shakur, Nas, and things like that. Like this was people I was listening to at a young age, and although there was like some gangster element to it, I'd also taught you that, bro, you gotta go for it, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta be hungry for this thing, and you must go for it, bro, because like you said, no one's coming to save you. So I don't think there was moments where I was like, nah, I think I'm done. I'm not gonna do this anymore. Nah, I think I was like, you know what? I realized that they say like there are let's say it's the alphabet of things you could do, right? So if A doesn't work, we go to B. If C doesn't work, but that's in the same thing. Like if this way in this doesn't work,
Yeah.
let's try the next thing. But it doesn't mean you fail. And I think once you start to understand that there's no such thing as failure but learning curves,
Come on.
that's when you start winning, because like there is no such thing as failure. It's just attempts at trying that you should just kind of change along the way, and then you're gonna keep winning. So no,
100%.
I do remember though being on social media in a later stage in life. I think more people started coming onto social media.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I think when we were doing social media stuff in the early days, it was the first time
Yeah.
for like us, because we were like the guinea pigs of social media.
Early
'Cause
Instagram. yeah.
Facebook.
You know, we were around for the time of BBM, and then moving into you know, like Facebook for the first time, and I think when I dropped, like I tell people the story all the time, like when before Facebook I had like this weird algorithm, I dropped a video that had 1 million views, and that was 10 years back.
Yeah.
And now 1 million views seems easy, but 1 million views on Facebook
Wait, that was a
10
lot,
years
yeah,
ago,
man.
I was like,
Unheard of, bro,
It was
yeah.
unheard of, bro. And I mean, that was wild, I think. And then also later the stage, more people started coming onto Facebook. And then I think so many people became more opinionated.
Yeah.
And everyone started assuming that their opinion actually means something. And I think lots of creatives go through this where people try to dumb your shine, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know about the whole idea that people have done in the last couple of years. Like, I mean, they come now under the cancel culture.
Cancel.
You can't cancel me, bro. Like, I think people tried that in the early days because maybe I said something that wasn't to their liking, or things like that. Or like, like, how could you say that? Like, nah, cancel culture. Like, cancel culture is not gonna exist with me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a pioneer of Cape Town, South African social media life. Like, I'm part of built the system, bro, and I confidently say that because I know I did. And then now, I think that just gave me a pause. And I was like, yo, bro, like everyone's so draining, bro. Like, why is everyone so negative? It's like everyone was looking for something bad to say.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like, why can't we uplift maka? But it's like, I think that the whole thing of jealousy I can't even say just Cape Town, in the world, like people aren't genuinely happy for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you want people to be happy. And,
Sure.
and I find myself in a space when I look at other people and I'm like, yo, that's not how quiet me, bro. And I think it to myself, even if I don't maybe tell the person, I'm saying, nah, that's quiet. Or if I do get to tell them, I'm like, you know what you're doing is really dope. And I give people their flowers. And you start to realize that everyone's actually not like that.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you your flowers.
But how many people smile to your face, but behind your back they're not smiling?
You know what I mean? And that's the reality. Even now to the day, you know what I mean? I don't think anything has changed in that regard. Like I'm pretty sure there's people like, nah, you know, it means it's cool. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But I think so there was a part where I was like, you know what? I might just fucking quit this whole fucking social media thing because everyone just seems to be negative. And then I was like, nah, bro, but I'm a rhino though, man.
Yeah.
So come at me though.
Yeah.
So then I was like, nah, that was like a brief moment. I had like the time that I stopped doing like videos for like the first time in my whole career, like be like, let's say like a 3-month sabbatical where I was just like, you know what? I'm taking a break from social media because people are wild.
Yeah.
And like everyone, like, why you always got something negative to say, bro?
I was also just gonna say now, bro, I wasn't the rhino, I was a bear. I went to go hibernate because I couldn't take
You
it
couldn't take
anymore.
it?
Nah, bro, I didn't. I don't enjoy bad energy. I
Yes.
hate negativity, and I'd rather keep myself away from it. My peace is important to me.
Yes.
And when I saw people becoming so sensitive and looking for any reason to
So
take
you
shots
went through
at
the
you,
same
went
through?
through the same thing, bro.
Now, my point exactly.
Then it just made me take a step back and say, this is not why I do what I do, man.
Yes.
I do stuff to bring light into this world, to make people smile, make them happy, make them feel motivated. And this feels like every time you're trying to do something, for example, that lifestyle movement thing that we do and we go
Yes.
feed the communities, the people who might repost my shots and say, why am I posting about the work that I'm doing? When our operation is...
It's all about inspiring other people to do that.
Bro, we're showing what we're doing so you can donate money and help us to grow the project.
Yes.
How else must I get the word out? And then I realized it actually doesn't matter what you do. I'm just not going to do this with people anymore. And I'm going to take a break. I went to hibernate. And that was lekker because then I got that peace back.
You got that peace
I
back.
needed to recharge
Yeah.
the batteries a bit.
Now you see but now you get to a point now you think to yourself, yo, why do you have to do this, man?
True.
Because I'm genuine, like everything, if people know me well enough, you would know that everything you should take me with a pinch of salt because I'm really just talking cack. I'm really just making a joke, but my intentions are always good.
Yeah.
Like my intentions have never been malicious. I don't want to break anyone down. I don't want to hurt anyone. I really just smile to make someone smile.
Yeah.
And maybe for some people, I think at a later stage, I thought it would be at the detriment of someone else's expense. So like, okay, so we laugh because of this. And I'm like, no, that's not the point here. I'd say something, I'm saying like, you know what? This is a purple croc. How dare you say that's a purple croc when you can see it's pink?
Yeah.
It's off. I'm like, bro, relax, bro. And then that kind of, then I went back for a while and I was like, afterwards, I was like, you know what? I've been through this so many times now. Like people are like, "Yo, I'm a case, bro." And I know lots of people. For lots of people, bro. For lots of people, even now, bro, they get that times and the people's like on your case. But I think as long as you stay consistent in who you are, you make your intentions right. And I think praying about it, it always works. You know what I mean? I think you gotta pray for protection in these times. And I'm talking about this like for things of the unseen. You know, of people's thoughts against you, the negative feelings towards you. I think as long as you or praying as well and keeping your intentions pure, I think you always come out top. So like they never win though.
Yeah.
Shout out to the haters for never winning. I'm still out here.
Lekker.
I wanna send a shout out to your followers, to your fans and your supporters, because bro, I will look in your comments sometimes on posts, né? And the amount of respect that people have, like how you motivate and drive people through your content. You see it in their reviews or their comments towards you, bro. Is you have a great following, you have an active support. Let's call them community of people that's constantly backing you no matter what. So it's also nice to see that because like we were talking about now on the internet, a lot of negativity.
Yes.
But your soldiers come through for you. You know,
Nah, they do. And listen, I don't just want to give it. I don't just want to make it like a thing to that extent because like if I look at it, it's like let's say it's gonna be 50 people that got the negative vibes, but the other 100,000 are all forward me, bro. And so that's also gave me like a change in my mindset to like then I gotta do it for the people who love me, bro. And the people who love me they outweigh the people who don't.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and then I also find out along the way like the reasons why some of the people don't maybe like you for certain reasons. You find out some weird reasons. I found out weird stuff and they were like maybe like this bro, don't granny because his wife likes you.
But
I never even met you, bro. Like I'm like, why are you beefing though?
Yeah.
Or maybe you upset for because I said something because maybe you didn't tell the people that you actually low-key have a son that's or something. You
like
know
we
what I
will
mean?
say, you have a pain for that person.
Yes, but it's not like because you actually did anything to them. They just feel some type of way about you.
Yeah.
And people do feel like that sometimes.
And that's their thing. That's something they must deal with.
But a person's actions towards you is never a reflection of you, but a reflection of them.
Them, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, bro, you know what? Feel how you want to feel, man.
I like what you said also about not having malicious intentions for anybody.
Yes.
Because that comes through by the way that you also treat your people, your family.
Yeah.
And I see that you and your sister have a very close relationship.
Yeah.
Even though you both on social media, you both have a big following. You know, that fame and all of that can become a lot of noise, especially in situations when there's money involved or you doing your thing. It could even be competitive at one stage. But I noticed that you guys look out for one another when it comes to this industry. As you grow together.
Yeah, because I think we also came up in a time where this thing wasn't a thing, you know what I mean? And to navigate the waters through for the first time together was cool because I did videos with her, she did videos with me, we did stuff together. But I think as we grew, we got into our respective fields. Like I was going to be more of this and she was going to go more for that kind of thing. And I think it's just motivating each other to like, you know what, like, cause she, like, I mean, it's not like we don't have normal conversations like, yo, like, what do you think about this? Or like, yo, like, what's my response to this? Or what should I say? You know, 'cause I think in the early days, I used to be more aggressive. I was like, you know, tell us goed, Tim. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And now I'm just like, bro, you know, hate is gonna hate, bro.
Yeah.
It's part of the game, bro. Like you have to accept, let's say, criticism as much as you take praise.
For sure.
If you are willing to say someone says this and this, but also I think constructive criticism is also important. If you tell me something that you don't like, then I need to know why and what do you think we could do to do better. You know what I mean? Don't just say this because you want to sound bitter.
Yeah.
So if you tell me, listen, I think you know, like Blake, I think the podcast is cack, bro.
Yeah.
But then why am I saying that? I'm like, you know what? I think you could add more lights here. I think that will actually be quiet. But the thing is, I don't want you to do better.
Yeah.
It's about breaking you down.
Exactly.
And I think like you have all these people trying to kill each other's brands out here, bro. And I think it's weird, bro. Like they're doing this, and that's malicious. On the other end, like you really want to
stand on someone to get somewhere.
you really want to pull people down. And I think it's that whole culture of people being crabs in a bucket and wanting to pull. You can't see someone else go up too high because you know they might surpass me in this and that. So we need to pull that bro down. He's going too high now.
Yeah.
He's starting to fly. We need to clip his wings.
Yeah.
So I mean, once you start understanding people are like that, then I think you move differently. And that's why, and you know what, I'm focused on what I need to do. And like I said, God protects me, bro.
100%, bro. A deserving man of that as well. And just going forward now, you know, is someone that has created so much for himself. what is the vision for you going forward? Do you have something on your heart and on your mind, a goal that you've set now? I know you have a lot going on, and
Yeah.
sometimes the goal actually becomes just to maintain what we have going on
Yes.
because it's so much. But is there something that you're looking forward to, Yuzriq Meyer, in your future as a goal?
You know what? I think, look, above and beyond all, my plan is definitely go travel the world, bro. Like, I have lots of places to go visit, lots of places to see, even if it's just for education of my own soul.
Yeah.
To find out more about what other cultures, what other people are doing. But I think it's also to create more platforms where other youngsters are also doing their thing, man. You know, I've done this thing. I'm not old yet, you know what I mean? I think we started fairly young, and still to be young enough to still be here. I think that's cool, but I think we should also pass the baton on, and we should help more lighters, because I don't think the generation that came before us were in a position where they could like, yo, bro, you can do this now, or like. So I feel like we should be those people, man. Like, I think we should be that pioneers for change, in the sense of like, if some young lighters really are passionate about this, not just be for clout, it shouldn't be for fame, but like you actually want to do something, then like help them, guide them in the right way. So I think, like, in the sense of media agency vibes, you know, doing South African films.
Yeah.
Like I do acting, bro. I do movies. I do media. I even do artist management. You know, because of the things, I've got all the connections. I mean, I think I've interviewed over 10,000 people in my life. You know what I mean? So like I've dealt with many personalities. I know all kinds of personalities, bro. So also, some people don't know how to get in the doors. I know the people who are behind the other side of the doors. You know what I mean? So I mean, you might think you know the people. I actually know the people. So I think I would also like help other people get into those doors if I think like, nah, these people really want to do it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think to be on the other side will also be dope for me. Yeah, bro. Like,
100%. I see the acting thing for you though.
Yeah.
Thoroughly. Just because of how quickly you can switch up into characters and then authentically become that, you know? Like, just like that. Snap
Anytime,
of a
bro.
fingers, bro. I love that. And it takes, not so much just about having the skill, no? But it does take a lot of confidence, you know, to willingly allow yourself to do
Step
that.
out, yeah.
Because a lot of people are stuck in a comfort zone or stuck in a box. And then you build this idea in your mind where because you're this person, you can't be anything else. Whereas even though you started as a radio DJ, now you have a podcast, you went into content, you're still saying, you know what, but acting is ahead of me, artist management is ahead of me.
Bro.
I'm not limited by anything. And I think that's powerful, my bro.
look, I think this is something I want to share with you, so that other people can also take like a heed of the messages that people are gonna judge you regardless. So you might as well give them a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whether if you're gonna sit there and be a hermit and say nothing, and I say, oh, this isn't this big full time.
Yeah.
You're gonna say something, oh, this was loud and rowdy. I'm like, well, then you know what? So I might as well be that, bro. Salute caps up, you know, because you're gonna have something to say regardless. So why not give them?
100%.
So they say if the gods are always watching, why not give them a show?
Lekker. Yo, I love it, bro. That,
You know?
That's like your motto. If I
Yeah.
think about your brand name, that's your motto. If people are going to judge you anyway, you might as well give them a lekker show.
Might as well, bro. Like, why must I not be like, get into like, nah, they're watching me. No, bro. That's me inspired. I'm like, bro, dala, just do it. Don't, my bro.
But yeah,
do
that's
it,
it,
bro.
That's it. That's it. I think so often we let fear hold us back.
Nah, you can't.
You gotta
can't.
you gotta push through it, bro.
So would you say, let's do this also, some practical traits?
Yeah.
Because we all, as we grow and we work on things, you know. The past couple of years, I had to work on my time management because I was a man that was late.
Okay.
It was a sickness that I had now. I was
Yes.
late and I didn't respect time. Then I had to go work on that. You actually have to practice to be
Yeah.
better at it. You can't
Yes,
just
you
say
have
you're
to.
going to be on time, so all of a sudden. You must understand, I mustn't wake up now 30 minutes
I need to put
earlier.
that alarm on earlier. I need to go
Exactly.
sleep a bit earlier. I can't be up until 4 if
There
I must
we
be there by
go.
5, you know?
So if you want to own time, you have to work on that, you know, develop that trait of good time management. What would you say are maybe 3 things that you've worked on in your career? Or if you haven't worked on it, what are 3 strengths that you have in terms of your traits that make you who you are and keep you successful?
I think ability to step into any room and be confident in who I am. Like I don't ever feel like I have inferiority complex ever. It doesn't matter who I'm with. I could be with the richest people in the world. I could be with the most powerful people in the world. I could be with the weakest people in the world. It doesn't matter. However you see it, I would always know that I'm confident in who I am and step into the room and my energy would be enough for me. Like I would never feel like, you know, what are they gonna... And I think lots of people get into a room and they start thinking, what do those people think of me?
Yeah, true.
I say once you got confidence, you get into the room, you wonder if they need to wonder if you think okay of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get in the room, like I wonder if you're okay because I know I'm fine, you know what I mean? And I think lots of people got scared to get into rooms because of some weird fear and inferiority complex. And I want to share this because I feel like lots of our youngsters also need to get out of that.
Yeah.
You know, like be confident in who you are, and I think that also comes with education. Once you start also learning more things and you start enlightening yourself, so I think that number one is getting into a room and it's always being confident who I am. Being able to actually negotiate and have proper conversations also. I mean, that's getting into the room is the first part. Number two is, can you hold the conversation that allows more things to grow from there? Because I could be in the room with the biggest sponsors in the world.
Yeah.
If I don't know how to talk to them, I'm not going on with anything.
Sure. True,
You
bro.
know what I mean?
Facts.
I'm like, yeah, that's the owner of. I mean, I could drop all the name brands, you know, and it's like, if you get it, I'm like, who are you? And
Quality.
then
Third, you said consistency, hey?
consistency.
3 Cs.
Consistency is huge, bro. I think, being consistent. Again, like I said, I'm a poster child for telling everyone to be consistent. Like, you could be the greatest at something. If you aren't consistent, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Like what they say, hard work beats talent.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week. So someone could be a better artist than you, but if you're a harder worker, you're gonna win him.
100%.
You're going to beat him because the thing
That's
is
golden.
you have drive. So I think so consistency, drive, and self motivation. I think those are definitely skills that I think that's ingrained in my soul, man.
That's amazing, bro. You honestly, I find it phenomenal. Seriously. You're inspiring, bro, to have that perspective of yourself, that belief in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's really not as easy for a lot of people to just say, okay, I believe in myself. It's
Yes, I
done.
know.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it also means that you've put in a lot of work to get to that point and then not decide any differently. 'Cause
Yeah.
doubt can creep in at any time.
Yeah.
And when you make mistakes sometimes, then the doubt gets a little bit louder in your head.
Yes.
But now, what you do is, with that mistakes, all you're doing is consistently throughout this episode, you're saying you bounce back.
Yes.
Learn.
Because you're passionate and you know this is where you're supposed to be, you take those mistakes and you say, hey, these are gifts, man. This is something.
Now I know not what to do.
Exactly.
Like, I shouldn't do this, so I could try this way.
So it's
Yeah.
it's even more meant to be. You know, it's
Yeah.
even more obvious you're supposed to be here. You deserve to be here. We were watching a show the other day and we were talking on one of the episodes actually, and Denzel Washington actually walked up to Tyler, the creator, and at one of the events, he was feeling uneasy and he was looking a bit nervous and so
Yes.
on. And then Denzel Washington said to him, "It's cool, calm down, chill. You deserve to be here. If you didn't deserve to be here, then you wouldn't be here."
And you wouldn't be here.
Just said in one of the episodes.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually so insane because a lot of the time, sometimes you feel like I'm not supposed to be here.
Yes.
Why am I sitting with all this CEOs of this company and what should I say? What do they think of me? Just like you said now.
Exactly, like I said, that having that complex
Yeah,
about yourself,
it's
you know.
big, bro. It's so common. And then to actually just remind yourself,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be here, man. Otherwise, why am I here? And as soon as you accept that, you can start being yourself.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Then that noise can start simmering down and go away, and you can be your authentic self.
100%. And I think also, coupled with that is, I think humility is also very important. You also can't come across like too boastful.
Yeah.
Like even though you are a lion by heart, you know, you don't have to tell everyone you're a lion, but you can be that lion low key and still operate in a way where you tactfully kind of move through things. But you don't have to be like, yes, I'm supposed to be here,
Yeah.
and I am the that's not how you operate. You be like, you know what, I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm confident in it, and I'm here, and I could speak to you on facts and education, and I think that's always going to be a winner for you.
Yeah,
Truth, bro.
a lion's a perfect example also
Yeah.
because a lion doesn't walk around roaring all the time.
He
You don't.
doesn't.
A lion, before he attacks, tries to be as quiet, as invisible as possible. You know,
Yeah.
up in his head, silently moving. And there's power in that, is to know when to strike as well.
Yeah.
The balance of it all. Bro, can't thank you enough for your,
It's been
for
a
your
pleasure,
energy.
mate.
Before I give you the full thank you, we have one very important question for you.
Now go for
I
it,
don't
bro.
know how clued up you are on the gibbets.
Yes, I see the jobbers, boss.
Okay, so if you could be any gibbet, what would you be and why?
Yo, bro. Like, are you talking
Don't-
about the ones that I see, or just in general?
In general,
In
don't,
general.
Don't choose the eggplant, eh?
You know what? I had there was a pair of Crocs that I did have,
Yeah.
right? And there was one thing that I specifically looked at when I was in the store. I was like, this is the one I'm taking, and it was a mic, bro. It was an old mic.
Dope.
It was the old mic that looked, you know, the
Yeah.
the old big microphone one, the silver one with the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put that mic was the first thing I put on because I believe I'm a voice.
Yeah.
And so I'll take that mic because I think
That's powerful.
I've never used my voice for anything other than to uplift other people and also to keep myself motivated. So the reason I'm here, the reason I still have a voice today is because I believed in myself and believed in that mic. So I'm taking that mic, bro. That's my gibbet.
Yeah.
You deserve all the praise,
Yeah,
bro.
very
All the
well done.
trumpets. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for
been a
your
pleasure,
time.
mate.
I know you were busy, man. Thank you for your wisdom because you've given us a lot of wisdom today, a lot of power, a lot of valuable skills, and a lot of lessons that people can take away from this episode.
100%.
And then thank you for all of your experience as well, bro. 10,000 episodes, 10,000 interviews with people
Yeah,
isn't
bro.
a joke, bro. That's hard work every
Yeah.
single time to prepare for that. That's a record I've actually
Remember
never
I told you
heard.
about 7 a day, bro. So
Yeah.
I imagine the early days, bro. So it was wild, bro.
I've actually never sat across somebody that told me that they did more than 10,000 interviews in their
Yeah,
life.
bro.
That's a record, bro. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you in the future. You're gonna join us for Best Foot Forward School Tour.
Definitely, bro. I'm there
love
like a bear, man. Shout out to all the kids and everyone out there. Like I said, keep going for those dreams. Keep winning, stay motivated, and never stop believing in God. Give thanks.
Amen.
Awesome,
Thank you, Mr.
guys.
Meyer.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this dope interview. I know you guys are going to be inspired. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification, and share this.
Yep, that's it, guys. As you know, after every episode, we make sure that we reward you. We're giving away 3 pairs of Crocs to the people who show us the most enthusiasm, the most love, basically. Just comment, share this anywhere, Instagram, TikTok, make a noise about it. We'll be looking for you, and you can win yourself a pair of Crocs. From myself, Blake the Champ, and Jared Smith, we out. Cheers.
Hello.